Friedrich. Oh yeah. How's life in Chicago? Oh, yeah. Well, today was nice here, so I went out of the house and tried watercoloring. Failed at it, but that didn't stop me. I went out and did other drawings without watercolor and succeeded a little bit more with those. And now I'm here doing this. I listened to a audiobook, Stephen King audiobook, and watched other YouTube videos about something, I forget what. And I never know, why can't I make this thing look like it is in real life? I think I need to just make all of this area dark. It's almost all dark. I think I need to learn to simplify areas. And I do it with my other art. Why can't I do it with this? Very bright areas on this watch right here where the gears are. This is all pretty dark in here. This is all pretty dark in here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, we have to get him on here. I want to get Adventure Denali on here. I don't know what the hell her problem is. What is she afraid of? I don't bite hard. I would think that she and I would get along really well. Well, she is infatuatable. Is that the right word? I think she has charms that could impress a Howard Stern character. How's Parker doing today? Oh, good. Glad to know that he's trying to follow his doctor's orders. Is anything happening with the ranch in his absence? I'm drawing with a Yankee pen that has some sort of warranted nib in it, but the warranted nib is quite lovely. Dad voice, huh? Well, I imagine that is a voice he ought to hear more often. Because needs to take care of his little selves. Why did I do that? Well, some warranted nibs are awful, but this one's pretty damn good. I think it's a warranted nib. Well, we'll call it done. Where's my loop? No, it's a Spencerian nib. I lied. Okay, now we're going to do just the works on this one. We're going to do this. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? Explain to me, what am I doing? There's the center right there. Jewel, 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 bric-a-brac, bric-a-brac. Thingy, screw, screw, calligraphy, bric-a-brac, bric-a-brac. Okay, let's see if I can do this one right. I'm going to take my big, thick. Yeah, you like when they're big and thick, don't you? Add really dark areas here with my thick Brazilian green. What do you think? Like my thick Brazilian green military line I'm making? Okay, I'm almost done with this. Okay, let's try the brush. So what kind of Morrison pen is this? Is this an overlay or something extravagant? What is it? Why are you going through so much trouble for a Morrison, I guess is $64,000 question. I know you and I and Wasky, we like pens that are not necessarily the fanciest, but Black J Star Rubber. Okay. I have a Sterling overlay Morrison that's about the size of a 56, I guess. I think I put a Waterman nib in it because I can. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to let them sit unloved, but if any pen is going to be unloved, it might as well be a Morrison, you know. Might as well have it be a Morrison. Hello, Ms. Marilyn. add some red to this for patrioticness. Let's add some red. Just for shits and fucking giggles. What pen case are you talking about? You talking to me or talking to Marilyn? Oh, that's nice. What kind of pen case? A pouch case, you mean? I mean a zippered case with that kind of a case? I will in a second. I just want to finish this first before I move my everything so I can get into the thing. Marilyn Aubry right there. Oh, well, call it a day. Okay, let me put this over here. Put this over there. Well, that's very sweet of you. You know, I buy these things at pen shows, and then I never use them. I try to, and then, but I never. I always just bring them in shoe boxes. You know, if I sold pens the way 9/10 of the people sell pens, I would have them that way, but I don't. just have a bunch of pens piled in front of me, and I'm going from one to the other, and I'm showing people how they write, and it's just one more. I use them when I go to Minneapolis, and I, put them all right side up and stuff when I go to the get on the airplane. But I don't when I'm at a pen show. They're kind of useless. But I am trying to do it for now that I'm selling things online to people like you and Marilyn and things like that. I'm making little.
Well,
Hello.
How are you doing today? Are you having a nice day?
I'm having a perfectly nice day.
Oh, that's nice. See, he gave me one of these.
Well,
and here it is.
Oh.
He's given me 3 of these things.
Did he give you 2?
He gave me 3 of these. Well, all together he's given me 3. One I used to put all my Jelly Roll pens in, and it filled it up like in 5 seconds.
Oh, good.
And I told him, I said, I'm going to need more whenever you can.
Sure. Well,
I'm going through them real fast.
Well, if they keep you organized, that's great. I've always found that it's one more thing. I have to unzip and open and find the pen and yank it out. And all of that could be done just by dumping all the pens that I have on my table.
Well, some of us, I used to keep all of my pens in this pink box.
Yeah, well.
But I saw somebody have a fit, like live in front of me. They were like, ah! 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 What? Don't do that. Why were you doing that?
Well, you tell them to talk to me.
I know, right?
You tell them to just visit my peer's house one day, and they'll have a heart attack.
Oh, I was like, no, don't go over Pierre Gustafson channel. Just don't. No, you might have a stroke and die in front of him, and that would not be educational. I don't advise it.
Here.
So now I get to spend a little bit of time filling the one that I had, and then putting all of the pens that I have just lying around in here. Oh, joy. What were you drawing? You were drawing
one of my watches.
Oh, you were drawing a clock. That's cool. Wow.
The works of a watch, and the other one showed.
I thought you were drawing your version of TikTok.
No. So.
It's time to go to bed yet?
Oh, it's not quite time yet.
See? Oh, you can't see. See, Frederick? I'm really glad that you sent me this packet because I'm all out. I just have this one space, and I have like all of these pens to go. So just a lot.
Well, very good.
And this case.
Not to say that these were not beautiful things to be given, but if you ever come across and you actually can buy these, Marilyn. They're sold for art supplies, and they're not very expensive.
Mhm.
They're about the size of, let me just find it for you. Because what I like about a drawer
Mhm.
is I can, take the drawer out and the pens are loose. I don't have to pull them out of the straps.
Right.
And they're all ordered by a certain, you could have the Boinga Boinga drawer and the drawer with pens with red ink and things like that. But let me find out what these things are, because they're really good looking, I think, and
Mhm.
they could actually fit maybe uh, your computer uh, laptop thing could maybe fit on top, set on top of it, so it wouldn't be taking up any room.
Right.
Um, Let me just find one though. Art supply wood drawers.
I mean, these are just, I can't tell you how many. Oh, I would have such fits going through that box.
Look,
Like, what is it? Oh, yes. Like a pen drawer case
and there are 7 drawers or 6 drawers. This is a
unit.
6 drawer one for $34.75. And I think, they would hold
And it's only
almost
three
any,
arms wide and half of an eyeball.
almost any pen that you have would probably fit in one of these.
Yes.
And they're, you may have to, read the descriptions exactly. No, they're probably made of, cheap white pine or something. But again, when I saw them,
Mhm.
I was looking for um,
Hmm.
these maybe will hold pencils as opposed to uh, thicker pens.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I bet you could probably find one.
See, I put these pencils in this case. See?
Yeah.
I can't. You can't see. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Better. Yeah, I put these pencils in the case, so that way I could just grab them out from the bottom.
Yeah. Uh, um, Frederick is saying that they're only a half inch deep, which they might be. You know, they, uh, but they might hold Waterman 52s and snorkels, and
Oh,
if your pens are 51s, they might work.
uh-huh.
Uh, the drawers I have 1,000 of my pens in were uh, drawers for a coin collection, and they're very narrow,
Yeah,
and
I was just
and
saying
they will
coin
hold they'll hold they'll hold 51s, they'll hold dual fold juniors, they'll hold Waterman 52s, 452s. They'll hold. I'm just trying to
almost
think of all the pens I have in there. So, and I think that those are wider than these, because a half an inch is pretty big.
significant.
If you want all of the clips to go up, then you're going to have problems. But if the clips, fall over to the side,
Yeah,
I think I think they would be fine. And the ones I use on my drawing table are those metal inventory index card things, and
yeah.
those work well for me on my desk. What are you
It's
looking
an
at?
index card.
Okay.
This is the ink of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I made it with mixing yellow food color and gold luster dust. And I was in my video just now, and someone said, "So you made an edible ink?" And I didn't think about it, and I was like, "I suppose I did, didn't I?"
Well, you should throw some mustard in there. Have it be spicy, for God's sake, Marilyn. God.
I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't even realize that. I was like, I don't want to spend like, I didn't want to spend $30 on like Roaring Klinger Helianthus, like a huge bottle. So I was like, well, I think that the closest thing I can come to is yellow food color. And then I just went to Hobby Lobby and spent $5 on gold luster dust, and I have a $6 really cool ink.
Oh, that might get moldy, or I don't know what food coloring has in it that might.
I don't know.
I
don't think so. I mean, you'd think that it has to have some sort of herbicide.
They might. I mean,
fungicide.
I mean, you're not going to, a birthday cake that has food coloring is not meant to last longer than the day.
Right, exactly.
So I don't think you have to worry about herbicides in that.
Right. Yeah. So also, he gave me this pen case. Isn't that cool?
Oh, right.
Nice. I like it.
So this is a flat file that is probably an inch deep, and it's metal and on wheels now, and it has 25 drawers in it, I think, and it could hold my entire pen collection probably, but I've got other things for that. But again, I used to have a lot of pen cases, like the glass fronted cases that were in stores and stationery stores, and one for Waterman, one for Eversharp, one for Parker. And I would have them up against the wall, and I'd have them filled with pens, and whenever I wanted to use one, I'd have to move the fucking case away from the wall enough to open the door. And by the time I did that, I just thought, fuck it, I don't.
Yeah.
But many pen collectors, again, don't use pens, so they don't care. They just want to show them off. So
right, yeah.
But for those of us that use them, we want to.
Well, the other reason that I wanted a case for these is so that way I could take them with me to maybe a pen show if I ever decide to go to one.
Well, I think you should, and I think that would be great. Make sure to bring an empty one that you can fill up, and about $1 million, because your eyes are going to go toward the $1 million ones. Well, they're not a million, but your one's eyes at a pen show go to the fancy looking ones. They sparkle and they shine, and they're bright colors. And
meanwhile, I'll be over here at the Jinhao booth.
Yeah. My friend Rob Morrison just posted on his Instagram, I think, page, a beautiful green Vacuumatic that he has a beautiful boingy nib on it.
Oh.
Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been on Instagram today. I've been working. So.
Vintage writing. Okay, let's see. So here's the Parker Vacuumatic, and this looks like it's the large size.
Oh, nice.
And it's in green, but look at the letters he can make with it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it has a boingy flexible nib.
Yeah.
And it's the largest size they made at the time. And I suppose this is going to be $600. What do you think, Frederick? I think he's putting it on eBay. But
Well, I understand these people want to charge exorbitant prices, but currently I am trying to save my pennies because I think something is going on with my computer.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah,
it
it keeps doing this thing in the middle of my streams. I'll open up more than 3 tabs to do the daily things, and it will stutter and shut down. So I don't know.
yeah, I looking at Rob. Rob is one of the. Rob used to live next to me, and we down the street from me, and we would buy and sell pens from each other all the time. And but his tastes in what he wants is he wants exactly the same kind of nibs that I do,
Oh,
nice and boingy and flexible.
yeah.
And but he wants his pens to be in perfect shape because he also is selling them and he wants them to sell for top gouge retail, and he gets top gouge retail because he has a very, very good reputation, and he takes a million pictures of the pens, so he shows that they are in perfect shape.
Right.
Or he'll point out that there's a little tooth mark here or a little whatever there. And so there's no surprises.
Right.
And he, yeah, it's on eBay. Yeah, I bet he does get 600. Yeah, he got something like $400 for a Skyline. And it wasn't a gold Skyline. It wasn't even a gold fill one. I don't think it was maybe gray, which is a rare-ish color, but gray plastic with a gold fill cap, and it had a flexible nib. But I could not believe that he got that much money for it. So
I see these people and they charge hundreds of dollars for the simplest looking pen. I saw this guy, he wanted $2,100 for a Waterman, almost the same looking pen that I have.
okay,
and I was like, are you serious right now?
Well, if it was the same one that you have, no. If it was a Waterman 13, there might be a reason. I mean, there's certain, some people are asking a lot more money than the pens are worth because they don't know and they think it's worth that much. But if Rob is able to sell a pen for $600, there are 2 people that are willing to pay that much,
Right.
at least.
There's this other Instagram person that does the virtual pen show.
Yeah.
And they show off all of the pens, and they tell you how to contact the sellers of these pens.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy selling the same blue pen that I have here. Guess how much you want for it?
Oh, I don't even know. I can't.
$38.
38. Okay.
$38. You know how much I paid for this pen?
No, I don't know.
I paid almost $100 for this pen.
Oh. Well. So.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
I mean, if you, I've mentioned this to people before, that if you go to a pen show and you see the identical exact same pen at 5 tables, and one person has it for 50 and one person has it for 500 and everyone else has it in between, all of those prices are correct.
Yeah.
The person that's selling it for $500 maybe paid $100 for it, paid $200 to get it fixed, really, really likes that pen. And the guy that's selling it for $50 needs a lung transplant the day after tomorrow and needs to get money. So, and then the people in between, they're not interested in that brand, they've never liked Schaefer's, or they never liked hard rubber pens, so they don't care. And then there's, but if you get someone who, like Rob is a perfect example. I'm not as good an example of this because I don't sell pens in his caliber. I have them and I own them and I buy them, but I don't sell them. But I know that Rob, if you buy a pen from Rob, you might spend $100 more than if you bought it from anyone else, just because you're buying it from Rob, and in his following and his fingerprints on it, that it went through Rob, means it's good.
Isn't his a vintage writing from Kansas?
Yeah, that's right. And so you automatically get this value added because I think he's reputable. Now, there's other reputable people too.
Right.
But the difference with Rob is, and this is different from Laura, and this is different from a million other people, is he knows a lot about how the nibs can work. And he has a bunch of people that want to buy flexible nibs from him, and they trust him. And the people that want flexible nibs will be glad to give him the extra $100 if Rob says this is good, then it's good. And then, of course, on top of it, Rob does his research, and he knows everything about when the pen was made, and he he also, like, I also know some of my customers. I haven't been to a pen show for a couple of years now, but I know what some customers like. Now, I don't necessarily gouge them, but I might hold a pen until I see this person come into the show, because I know they come in every year and they have the kind of pens they want. So I'll just have that aside, and I'll say, this is I haven't shown this to anyone. This is for you. Now that, and again, I don't charge more for it, but it's the knowledge I have about the pen I have that allows me to sell the pens the way I do. There was a guy that inherited his father's pens, and I went down to see his collection. There were 3 or 4 pen collectors that went down to see it, and there were hundreds of pens, thousands maybe, and he wanted a certain amount of money for the whole pile, and you couldn't pick and choose. You had to buy all of it for $20 or something. I don't know what it was. And there were a lot of very common pens, but there were also some really, really nice ones. And Frederick, are you still in the room here? He had maybe a dozen white Esterbrook pens. Now, white are sought after because they were for nurses and doctors.
Right, they're rare.
And they're rare, but you saw that he had 12 of them. So if he brought them to a pen show and had all 12, he might sell one for $100 or whatever the top gouge retail would be for that pen, to the one the Esterbrook collector that needed that one pen. Everyone else in that show is buying the pen to sell at the next show. They're not buying it for themselves, so they want to. Going to a pen show costs thousands of dollars. They have to do a markup. They have to, so they're buying for wholesale. They want a wholesale price, and which usually means, in my book, you have to buy a lot of pens. You want to buy wholesale price, then you make a pile of 10 pens at least. But this guy was very upset when he found out that someone bought a pen from him and brought it over to his table and sold it for more. And I said, well, you can't expect to get top gouge retail when you don't know anything about these pens and you're selling them unfixed,
Right.
unpolished, anything. And if you want to do the research, and if you want to pay to have someone repair all of these pens, you know,
It might cost
and
just under what he's selling it for.
oh dear, what the white illustrated, the tops are color coded to match the ink color of the nurse's chef. Well, I didn't know that. See?
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy, you can't expect to get top gouge retail unless you're Rob Morrison or Gary Lair, or a few of these people that will fix up the pen, make it all be perfectly correct, and also
Right.
be willing to take it back
Yeah.
when it doesn't work next year. People come back to me, say this pen skips all the time, and I look at it and I see why it's doing that, and I fix it for free, or I and I don't know whether it was something that I didn't see initially, or if they brought it home and tried to clean it all up and screwed it up. But
Right.
you can't expect.
That's excellent.
You shouldn't ask top gouge retail unless you're willing to be a top gouge, a retail store. Meaning,
Right.
you guarantee the pen and you'll take it back.
Yeah.
But there's a full range of things, and the pen that you just talked about that you paid $100 for, that someone was selling for $30, they may have not. I mean, I buy pens in lots that I get on eBay, and I don't know if they're modern pens. I don't know what they're worth. I have no idea.
Right.
And I could look it up and try to find out, but it's easier for me to not do that. And
Right.
just, keep the pens I want, and I'll sell these if they have a gold nib. I'll sell them for $30 at a pen show or something. But and it might be a $300 pen.
Yeah.
I don't generally make those kinds of mistakes, but I'm happy to admit that I do.
Yeah. Every time somebody makes a compliment on my Boinga Boinga, or that they're looking for vintage, or that they want something that they know that they're going to like, I always send them your way.
Well, thank you.
I tell them, I say, if you have a certain way of writing, or if you have in particular type of springiness, or you want some sort of very specific thing that you're looking for, Pierre will sit with you for hours and just be like, hey, look, show me how you write.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're looking for, and I will find it for you. And if you're not happy, just send it back.
I used to when I used to have people come to my store, they would, I'd say, well, I'd hand them a pen. They'd tell me what they're looking for generally, if they're drawing or writing, are they left-handed, right-handed. I'll hand them a pen, and they'll try it out, and they'll say one or two things that make sense to me. And then I will hand them a second pen, and they'll write with it a little bit, and then they'll see one over there that they want to try, and then they want to see one over there that they want to try, and they go back. A good 75% of the time, they'd go back to the second pen I showed them, because that was the one that wrote the best for them, and that's why I showed it to them. And I didn't show it the first time because I didn't know how they wrote. But once I saw how they wrote, and once they told me what they wanted, I was able to, because I looked at their hand, I looked at how the pressure they were putting down, I looked at everything that I could to understand what they wanted. And I think I'm pretty good at figuring this out.
You are professional.
I'm the
I know that there's
or something.
You really are. You really are. I tell people that all the time.
And it's not just boinga boinga. It's if
Right.
right-handed people are there, people want
Right.
a fine nibbed pen. If they want
Stiff,
boring pen, I I got a bunch of those. How boring! How boring do you want it?
Yeah.
So anyway, it is. Well, thank you for referring people to me. I'm gonna get.
I mean, if anybody can make anybody as half as happy as I was just with this one little tiny piece of metal, like I tell you, it was worth every penny and even more. I tell you.
Well, it is a really nice nib, and there are at a Penco, Maryland.
Even the really tight one that I put in here, I use it all the time for just writing stuff.
Well,
I've even cleaned out my Ackerman pump pen, which I kept with X-Feather, which I found out does not corrode the nib, which is very interesting for a dip nib.
Well, what I should do, Marilyn, is, I do have a couple of handfuls of Waterman pens that the nibs are just shoved in the holder so I can easily write with them to see what they're like, and maybe a couple of other pens, and just pack them up and send them to you, and you can try them out. What I want every person that I sell a pen to, I want them to be interested in more than one kind of nib. And I know you write with more than one kind of nib.
Oh, yeah.
But Effextinol, for example, he really
likes those tubular nibs.
And he likes them to be very smooth. But his friend from Canada sent him pens that were really, really fine. And he got a little hooked on those. And even if they're a little scratchy, he now, before it was green eggs in pan, he didn't want anything that wasn't smooth. But then he tried one that was really thin, and it was fun. So
that's how I feel about this Pilot Falcon. It's very fine, it's extra fine, and it's very scratchy. But when you give it a little bit of gas, it just makes the most beautiful lines. See?
It does. Wow, beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna shove a slice of pizza down my gullet, so I'll be right back. You're in charge. You keep people entertained.
All right. Well, Freddie, I want to thank you for this little case. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm not very much one for scratchy feedback. I like them to feel buttery smooth, so much to the fact that I went and I bought some of these emery board things that have the 7 layers of. It's meant to make your nails really shiny, and it has a nail buffer and a nail polish shine, and the nail polish shine is made out of like a satin, like a piece of satin, and I will take my nibs and I will go across it real fast, like just to give it a really good polish, because I don't have like a wheel or anything with a polish on it. And that polished this Falcon up just super nice. I mean, it is buttery smooth. I mean, it's still a little bit scratchy, but it's just super lickety split. Oop, where am I? There we are. And that's the same with my Himalaya, my blue Himalaya version 2. This thing was kind of scratchy when it came out box, and I was kind of disappointed because the last one that I had gotten was super smooth, and I was like, oh, I love this. I feel like I'm driving a race car, I went from the Pilot Falcon, which was scratchy and not good, and then I had this Ultra Flex nib, and I felt like I was driving a race car. Oh, it's so nice and so smooth, and just lickety split, let me tell you. And I even got an Ultraflex nib on my Noodler's Conrad pen. I love this Conrad pen. I could just pull the nib feed, and it's so easy to clean out. Well, I really appreciate it because I wanted something to put my Pilot Falcon in, because I have this one, and then I have this other one I think that you gave to me. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I have this one, but now that I have 3 pieces of gold in my life, I wanted something that I could put my Pilot 912 in. And I didn't want to put this in here because it's too big. But this one fits perfectly in this little black sleeve. Isn't that nice? And I've been using this for my Falcon ever since I got it. And I just love it. Put my Falcon in there. And then I want to put my, I don't know, this is kind of tight fit. But, oh, that fits perfect. I put my Waterman 12 in there. Fits real good. So now I'll have something to put my Waterman 12 if I ever need to put it somewhere away. So I'm very grateful. Thank you. And then these will live in this here case until I need them. Yay. And then this one is really good for keeping my well-liked pens in, but they're all being used currently for 30 days. Oh, nice. Did you make it? I think you remember Pierre saying something about you doing some leather work to make a pen case. I was thinking thoughts about going to the store. I went to Hobby Lobby once looking for leather, but they don't have like leather like we think of leather. They have this faux leather stuff. And I don't even know if this is real leather or not, but it's not very thick. And I wanted something to put on my desk because if you've never seen my desk before, it is in need of improvement. I have big old holes in it from where the enamel chipped off. I need to buy a new desktop is what I need to do, but I'm too lazy to go to or to have one delivered from IKEA, because that's where I got it. You do leather work. Oh, that's very cool. How much do you think? I'd like to have, I don't know how those types of things are made, but I have an idea of what I'm looking for, and I don't know if they exist, but I'm looking for a piece of leather that's on like a board of some sort, like one of those cutting boards. It's like glued to the cutting board or sewn to a cutting board. Just something sturdy so I can put it on my desk so I have something nice to write on so that it's thick enough and hard enough that I don't like poke through it. You know. Let me get my ruler. Let's see. Because the piece that I'm looking to get is 14 inches by like 27 inches. I know it's an odd size, but I want it to fit just on the inside of between my keyboard mouse, my mouse pad, and my light. So about 27 inches. 27 by 14. I don't want it to hang off my desk. Seven by 14. So, and I can pay you whatever it costs. I've been looking at them online, and there's like, they have stuff on them, like they have designs in them. I don't want one with a design on it. I don't want one with like fancy stitching around it or anything. I just want something that's plain so I can just put on my desk and write with it. Because currently I have to take a board. I have to take a clipboard. I have to not lose my things. I have to put my clipboard on it, and then I can write. Et voila. So I have to put on my desk, because if I write on this, I won't be able to write very good, especially with the Boinga, because it will tear right through the paper and my nib will break, and that will be the end of everything right there. Right?
It'll be the end of everything.
Yeah. It'll be the end of everything. I will cry. I will cry so hard. See, this is what I have to do every time I want to write something. I have to put it on the clipboard and put it on my table because of these holes. And if I would just spend the $50 or whatever it costs for shipping, that's the thing. Like the tabletop, guess how much this tabletop costs? Take a wild guess. Wild guess.
$42.50.
$8. That's how much the tabletop costs. $8. Okay. But guess how much the shipping one is?
More than $28.
$58. So, yeah. So like total to have a desk shipped, if an $8 desk shipped is like $68. It's ridiculous. Or I could just go to IKEA, pick one up, and then take it home on the bus. Or have an Uber take me home. I don't know. But getting it home is the problem.
You've got a bicycle. Soon.
Not yet. Very soon. Yep. I was really mad about that too. Stupid Amazon beating them with a stick. How was your pizza?
It was good.
That's good.
I engulfed them with
haste,
vigor, vim and vigor.
Yeah, I was just asking. You have leather pieces, don't you, Pierre?
Mhm.
And you use them to write with. Do
I
you
use,
have them? Do you have them glued to anything to
I
make them sturdy?
I set them on my wake. I set them on a table, and
Hmm,
that's flat enough.
right. I
So
was thinking about getting one of those like a bigger type of clipboard and having like a leather piece
yeah,
glued to it,
yeah.
so
Well,
that way I could have the little
you
clippy
can
bit.
you can find drawing boards that are clipboards that are larger. They may be too large, but I'll show you one. Just a minute.
I don't care about the color. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Frederick.
See,
I
look,
appreciate it a lot.
it has a handle
Oh my goodness.
and it has two clippy things,
Oh wow. That's
and
very
then
large.
and it's a piece of masonite, which is very smooth, and it's used. These are what you have at art schools to buy to draw the figure. You know, you set it on your lap and you're holding it up like this, and you're so.
Right.
And these are called portable
Mason.
drawing tables. Let me just see what they are called, because adding the leather to it, I don't think you need to do portable drawing.
Oh, I see. And $19.99. Field Sketch Artist Loft board.
It has clips on it.
Yep.
Because the leather,
Field Sketch board.
as lovely as leather is, I don't think I don't
It's a little big.
I don't know what the added value to that would be. You're adding a little bit of sponginess to the surface, but is that really what you want?
Well, I wouldn't use it for like fountain pens. I'd use it with my dip pens.
Well, anyway, I think that just having a board like this
Yeah.
it may add softness, but again, I don't know whether it's needed.
Yeah.
It's lovely, and you could, I mean, even taking a piece of leather like this was a bunch of leather that someone was throwing out in my building,
Yeah.
and they were letterpress people, and I imagine they use them for some part of letterpressing. But
Right.
you could just clip this under the clip, where you don't have to have it there all the time. You could take it off.
Right.
It would
Well,
be flat.
that's the other reason that I wanted it, is because I want something to cover up this ugly desk.
Well, the ugly desk is one
It
thing.
needs to go bye-bye.
What I've done with my ugly desk, my ugly drawing board, is I went to the sewing store, and
Mhm.
I thought I needed to do this, but I really didn't have to. But I bought, because it had this drawing board had big divots cut out of it,
Yeah.
and what I bought was this slightly padded thing that it's like the material that you'd have on an ironing board. There's a little bit of sponginess to it,
Yeah.
and it was on a big roll, and I cut off what I needed. I filled in the holes in my desk so it was relatively flat. Put this thing down to make it relatively even everywhere, and then I had a big piece of vinyl window shade material that's very thick, and I
Yeah.
covered that and staple gunned it around the edges, and that was a perfectly good surface to use too.
Yeah, I bought something like that, and the problem that I had with it was any type of heat would make it bow
Yeah.
in weird places,
Yeah.
and I
It can do that. Yeah.
yeah, that was the problem that I was having with that type, because I have two of them that I ruined with putting just my hot plate of food on it,
Yeah.
and so or warm plate, not even hot.
Yeah.
So
Well, see if you can find something like this that's small enough. I mean, you could also
right,
cut it down if it was too big, but most of these are going to be probably 2 feet by 1.5 feet, I would think.
yeah, I wanted something that was just big enough to put on my desk, so that way I'd have something to put on my desk, so that way it could one cover the desk, cover the ugliness of the desk, and then if I had to, I could just like take it and shake it off, or whatever,
Yeah.
and have some sort of softness or grippiness that I can even put my clipboard on top of it, so it won't go nowhere. But this right now, because of the bumps in it, if I even like put a little bit of pressure on one spot or another, it like rotates the
Mm.
it rotates the thing. I'll show
Yeah.
you. See, if I put like a little bit of
Yeah. Well, another thing, Marilyn, I mean, for $19 for one of these boards, you can just put this down, take your computer off the desk, put this thing down on the desk,
Yeah.
put the computer on it, and you'd have a perfectly flat surface.
Right.
Without buying a new tabletop,
Right.
But as I'm always someone to figure out a way to jury rig something, so
Right.
that maybe is not in your
Wheelhouse.
wheelhouse. I mean, I know you have, but
Yeah.
I think I think there must be
Where there's a
something
will, there's a way.
that you could do.
I don't know. It was just an idea. I
Well,
mean,
it's a good idea. I mean,
uh,
what's nice about something like this
yeah.
is I can take this down to the park near
You
me,
can move it about. Yeah.
sit on a chair, and I can draw out in the open air. And I actually have a table somewhere in my house that I should show you if I can remember where it is. It looks like this, except it has one leg that comes down, and
Right.
you set it on your lap, but the leg that sticks out,
Oh yeah, I think you showed us that before.
it works well too to steady everything. So
that's a good idea.
there's also a sewing board is good. I think I told you about that, or I told someone about that. Where it was meant to be used for hand sewing when you're sitting on an armchair. You put there's a little oval for your belly, and there's this.
Right, I think I know what you're talking about.
And they're beautiful. They can be they can be quite beautiful as well. Yeah. So. And the leather is fine if you like that, but leather sometimes has bumps in it. Whether it's a hide, like this is very smooth, but there is bumps.
Yeah.
The cow.
Different thicknesses in that.
It'll have a grain to it, and that will show up in your calligraphy. You'll be making a bunch of jiggly lines.
Right.
So you don't want that. So.
No. I was just trying to cover up the ugly desk.
Well, the ugly
I mean,
desk.
if I end up writing on this, that's fine. But I wanted something to cover up the ugly desk, or maybe even so that I could have something that I could remove from the ugly desk if I like spill something on it or whatnot. I could just like shake it off.
I just looked, Frederick. I don't know if you're still in the room, but I saw something on eBay just now, and oh my God, I won something.
You did?
And it's a Eversharp pen, and it's missing a goddamn chunk of iridium off that nib. It says flexible nib, and it is a flexible nib. It's kind of a rare pattern that someone might want, but it does have a piece of iridium missing, which you can see perfectly fine there as well.
Oh no!
So what did I win? Pay now. $11. I bought something that you'll find silly.
I just saw that a piece of leather 12 inches by 24 inches is $35.99. Wow. Ooh. Just a piece of leather. That's unbelievable.
Well, I will give you one of these.
Oh, I mean,
the next time I send you something, I'll include this.
I would appreciate it.
You would?
I just want something to cover up this ugly desk. Every time I've been keeping my clipboard on it just to kind of hide what I can of the ugly splotches. I need to get a new desk. That's all there is to it.
How big is the tabletop itself?
The tabletop is
Roughly
39.5 inches by 24 inches.
You can probably go to you have a Home Depot near you?
Oh yeah, that'd cost more than going to IKEA.
No, but you don't want a table. All you want is a piece of masonite. That's what this board is made of.
What's masonite?
It's a composite board. It does not warp. That's what this is made of. And you buy a piece of masonite, and you can probably get them in 2 by 4 foot sizes right off the rack. And one side looks like burlap fabric. It's usually textured so that you can cement it to something or glue it to something, and the side is smooth. And it's called masonite, and that's all you need, and you'll have a beautiful piece of acrylic. It's cheaper than masonite. Well, acrylic. Let me just find out what masonite is.
It says it is a designer, manufacturer, distributor of interior floors. Masonite board is a type of hard board, a kind of engineered wood.
They're $20. For 2 by 4 feet, it's $20.
Yeah.
From Home Depot.
Right.
And he's saying acrylic, which is cheaper, will cost $5. And acrylic is like plexiglass, right? Is that what you're saying?
I've already used that. And it meant I'd want something made of wood or leather.
Masonite has a nice wood-like feel to it. It has a warmth to it, but
or even glass. I even looked at getting a glass desk, but
no, glass is going to be expensive. But
yeah,
plexiglass, even though it scratches,
I've used plexiglass.
but what's nice with plexiglass or a glass thing is you could make a little collage of favorite pieces of paper underneath it, and so
yeah, I have a plexiglass piece, and I have like a laminate, like a clear floor laminate piece, and they both bowed due to heat. So
well, I wouldn't.
That's very disappointing.
I wouldn't eat your spaghetti on your desk.
Come on.
Just eat it out of the box raw. Just take a big pan.
I went shopping today and I bought gluten-free spaghetti.
Are you planning to live forever in misery?
No.
Then get regular spaghetti.
I went to
It's good.
The lady. I went to a weight loss meeting, and they were telling us about all these things. And I've never eaten gluten-free spaghetti before, so I thought I'd give it a try. We will see how this goes.
Oh shit! Oh god damn it!
What did you do?
I completely forgot about something. I'll be right down.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I have to go.
All right.
I completely forgot I'm meeting a neighbor.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.